guys. So today is day 2 of Trump's second impeachment trial. Yesterday, and let me say this first. I'm a student, and right now we're doing like argumentative like writings or argumentative essays, and this is where you would state on both sides, like, or why you agree or start arguing for or against, right? So if we were talking about testing products on an animal, you would write for or against, for and against it. So why it would be cruel to test products on animals, and why it wouldn't be cruel. And you would look up research on that, just not to state your own opinion, but just to give opposite arguments, right? So I was very interested in actually seeing arguments on both sides, because I'm interested in, what the Constitution will have to say about this issue. The only people that actually addressed in clear detail was the House impeachment attorneys. I mean, you can't get past that. That first 13-minute video, right out the gate like that, set the whole scene of the trial. Like, they mean business about making this look like a criminal trial, which is what you have to do, unfortunately, for some of the Republican senators. Because if you had made it look happy and bubblegum, then they wouldn't get it. They would not get it. They have to see the real deal Holyfield. And you know this because some of them are not even paying attention to what has happened on the 6th. There's reports that Ron Johnson, this is the first time he had actually sat down and watched that long of a video of what happened. And he's a U.S. Senator. So I would think you as a U.S. Senator should have sat down and watched a lot of the video, given the fact that all of this is under investigation by you guys. So it just means to tell me that you're trying to be willfully ignorant to the fact of what happened to the 6th, because you may feel guilty. But anyways, it needs to be gutter punch things like that they show in order for Republicans to listen and hear. Their actual arguments. So the video was just one. The actual legal constitutional arguments were spot on. Like, broke down elementary style so that even the average person like myself could understand. They showed examples from the past in which we had already impeached people that had resigned or were no longer in office. And I mean, like, the person resigned or was no longer in office, and they impeached him in the House and in the Senate after. Not like Trump's case, where he was actually in office when he got impeached, and we're just now trying him when he's out of office. Two different scenarios, but he was actually impeached while he was in office. So, they made good arguments there. Getting to Trump's attorneys, and again, I tried to keep an open mind. They did a terrible job. That first attorney, Bruce Castor, he just went on and on and on and kowtowed. And grievances. He didn't argue the Constitution like he was supposed to. That was supposed to be the first attorney that came up. He was supposed to argue the Constitution, and the second attorney was supposed to argue free speech. I heard none of that. The first attorney, just grievances and just BS. The second attorney, I don't know how long he was speaking before he even got into any constitutionality in his speech. By the time he got to it, he was talking about due process, which I don't understand, because the White House, I'm sorry, not the White House, but Trump had put out a letter earlier that day stating that he did receive due process. But now your attorney is saying that you didn't receive due process. So I'm confused. I'm confused there, because either you got it or you didn't. Because you can't say you did on one hand then say now you didn't. Let's also remember that the first attorney did say that they had to switch up their strategy because they felt like the impeachment manager's case was really, really good and they were not expecting that. So this could be very well why they tried to argue due process, even though the former president already stated that he had due process, because they had to try to go and find something that they could grab. He did kind of argue the Constitution a little bit, but the House impeachment managers had already made a compelling argument on their side that kind of squashed their argument. They also didn't go into specific details like the House impeachment managers did. They did not. They were long-winded and boring, but did not get to any kind of detail or didn't go to any precedents to state why it's not constitutional for us to be able to put him on trial. You have to give some examples or something, maybe past presidents or something like that, to show us what you mean in your case. Give us an example. Even the scholar that they cited in their briefing, they misrepresented that scholar. That scholar was also arguing the Constitution in his writing on both hands, on both sides, in his writings. And Trump's attorney misrepresented him by stating that was what he felt. He felt like that the Constitution doesn't allow for a president to be impeached after he has left office. But that's not what his writings were about. It was just an argumentative writing to state both sides, not for him to give an opinion. It's a difference when you do an argumentative writing and in a writing when you're giving your actual opinion. You're just giving both sides. It's not saying that he agrees or anything like that, but you made it seem like he agreed. And he did 2 interviews yesterday, from what I know, one with CNN and one with MSNBC, in which that scholar was displeased with what the impeachment managers did. Let's hope today that Trump's attorneys do a better job. I'm scared for them. I heard that Trump was borderline yelling at the TV. This is reported from Caitlin Collins with CNN. And this girl always gets the scoops, okay? Always gets the scoops. Caitlin. So, Trump was borderline screaming at the TV, highly upset that his attorneys did not have it together. Highly upset because his attorneys had also, not only did he say it on the floor, the first attorney, that the House impeachment managers were good, he told that to Caitlin Collins of CNN when she talked to him during the first break. Well, the first and only break that they had, the little 10-minute break. He told her that. So, I hope that they don't get fired, because this is the only thing that Trump has. I'm not a Trump fan. I do not go for him or anything like that. This is just, I want a solid political argument on both sides. At the end of the day, yes, do I want him impeached? Yes. Do I want him to not be stripped of? Do I want him to be stripped of his rights? Yes, because I don't want my taxpayer money to be paying for none of his stuff. Apparently, he's rich, so he can pay for his own stuff, right? He didn't care about people with coronavirus and them not being able to pay for their funerals and things like that. So I don't care about paying for him to have a presidential funeral or anything like that. I don't care. So he can have a regular funeral at Golden Gate like everybody else. Okay? You ain't special. At least not in my eyes. So, let's just hope today goes a little bit better. Let's hope that they present a good case today, because again, they were thrown off yesterday by yesterday's case. I also, before I get off of this, I want to give big ups to Bill Cassidy, the senator, Republican senator of Louisiana, for doing the right thing. Like Spike Lee say, doing the right thing and voting the right way, because their case was a hot mess and you couldn't prove they didn't give you any proof. So I thank Bill Cassidy for having some common sense in voting how he voted. Okay, you guys. Today the trial starts at 11 o'clock. Hopefully they're not on CPT time like they were yesterday. I'm sure it'll be starting at 12. But let's hope they put up a better argument this time. Let's hope that they're better prepared, because that was a gut punch at the beginning of the House impeachment argument. So they have to come prepared, because it seems like they're not playing no games. So Trump's side needs to not play no games. They need to bring their full on A game, because there's nobody else. Alan Dershowitz doesn't want to represent him anymore. Ken Starr doesn't want to represent him anymore. Pat Cipollone, and he is the White House. He was the White House attorney for Trump, that didn't want to represent him. So let's hope that the 3 attorneys that he had, because I don't know any other attorneys that want to represent him. Because look at what happened yesterday. It's hard to do that. We're going to see, because today, from what I'm hearing, they are going to be, we're going to be seeing tape that we had never seen before. And this is going to be, I think, like security tape from what happened inside the Capitol. So like the Capitol Police tapes. So we want to definitely be prepared to see that, and then we want to definitely see how Trump's side is going to respond to those tapes and whether they'll actually be prepared. So keep an open mind, everybody, for my impeachment watching buddy that I didn't even know who will be my impeachment watching buddy, my friend Donna. We'll be watching together and kind of corresponding and talking together, girl. But for everybody else, I'll be trying to post another video if I feel like it. But of course, I'll be posting all throughout the trial on both sides. If I see something that's a hot mess on either side, or if I give it a big ups to somebody, I will on both sides. So let's see how today goes. All right, you guys. Love you. All right. Bye.